Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me in my little corner of the internet. Now, we all know, it's no surprise, how much I love citrus fragrances. I am a big fan of bright, beautiful, orangey, lemony, limey, bergamot citrus fragrances. Woody citruses, floral citruses, fresh shampooey scents. I love them all. I think my love of these type of fresh fragrances started, I think, since I was a kid. I always gravitated towards really clean, soapy scents, and a lot of fragrances and cosmetics and soaps and lotions usually always had some sort of fresh, fragrance or perfumes, or if they were perfumed, they were perfumed with citruses. I also love eating citrus fruits. Like, I love a good orange. And especially now that it's so hot, like a cold orange that just came out of the fridge, and you take the time to peel it and the sun's just beating down. Maybe, you're sitting in the shade and a breeze comes by. It's very nostalgic. I grew up eating a lot of citrus fruits. My dad could out eat a whole case of oranges like nobody's business. He used to tell me stories of when he and my mom were first dating, and they'd sit under orange trees and just sit and talk for hours while eating oranges all the evening long. Citrus fruits and oranges definitely have a very soft spot in my heart. And I love walking around smelling like an orange during the summer season. So I thought I'd share some of my citrus, orange, lemony fragrances with you guys. I've categorized them into just a few different categories. So like I mentioned before, woody citruses, floral citruses, bright soapy shampooey ones. And over the few years, I've definitely acquired quite a few. So the first one I wanted to share with you guys, although it is new to my collection, this has quickly become one of my most favorite citrus forward fragrance, orange in particular. And I featured this on my July tray, so clearly it's no surprise. Nest's Seville Orange. This is the body mist. I do also have the little tiny oil. And I don't know where I have been. Where has this been hiding all my life? This is quite honestly the best orange fragrance I've ever smelled. This is your no-nonsense orange fragrance. Seville Orange, this smells purely like an orange essential oil. And I'm guessing they call it Seville Orange based off of I'm assuming the town, Seville, where they have a lot of orange groves. But like I said, this is one of the best orange fragrances I have smelled in a very long time. It's bright, it's zesty, it smells like the orange peel or the orange oil and zest that you would get on your hands if you peel an orange. And it's just a touch green, so it really gives it that quality like you're eating. Sorry guys, my camera died, so I had to switch them out. Hopefully the quality's still good. Anyway, I love this orange fragrance. It lists notes on the back here of orange zest, pink grapefruit, and neroli. Really what you're getting mostly is the orange zest and grapefruit. I guess the neroli is just to give it that green quality that I'm smelling. But oh my god, I could smell this all day. Truly, I could smell this all day. And this is perfect for summertime. I feel like oranges and summer high heat, they just go well together. And Nest Seville Orange is definitely a new staple in my collection. Every summer season, I can definitely see myself spraying this down. One little caveat I will say, I picked this one up discounted at these stores. I got this for $16.99, and I'm guessing they're discontinuing these particular body mists. The mist itself, while the bottle is gorgeous, it is beautiful. The mist is incredibly fine. It's a little too delicate for how I use and abuse my perfumes and my body mist. I'm not gonna lie. It's such a light little mist, and while it's beautiful and lovely to experience, it doesn't make for the best application. So really, you have to go in when spraying this. I have this little dent here, and again, while I wear this down, I love to wear this fragrance, and it has been a daily staple, daily driver. You do have to spray quite a bit just to get a good amount of mist to come out. But, that's my only critique if I were about Seville Orange. Now, piggybacking, while this is my most, I guess I would say, hyper-realistic orange, zesty, citrus fragrance, transitioning to that, I love a realistic orange scent. I also love my soapy, clean orange fragrances. And I think my love of that came from, using a lot of orange, soapy soaps growing up. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but Clean and Clear used to have like this foaming acne wash with, I think it was called like Orange Zest or Morning Sunburst, Orange Sunburst, something like that. Like way back in the day. And that was a life changer soap for me in my teenage years. I guess it had salicylic acid or something like that really helped your girl go through a really tough time with her acne. Now I'm a big girl and I use big girl products, but that little facial soap was a favorite of mine growing up. And I think what really kept me going back to use it was just I loved how it smelled. It really just smelled like you were washing your face with oranges. And at that time, orange was all the rage. Citruses were all the rage. It was, the 2000s. Everything had like that sweet aquatics, floral citrus scent. Clinique Happy was all the rage. This next fragrance that I'm featuring smells very similar to Clinique Happy. I no longer have it in my collection. I used it up, but I still have Happy Vibes from Bath & Body Works. This is an old bottle. And to me, this smells very similar to Clinique Happy. It also smells a little bit like that Clean and Clear Morning Sunburst acne wash that I used to use. It's bright. It really is such an uplifting, happy scent. They list notes here of pink citrus, pear, honeysuckle, and it's really that. It's not so much floral, but it really is a sweet, citrus, soapy fragrance, and a little aquatic as well. I use this up. It's actually about here. I love using this every summer season. I used to layer this with Clinique Happy. I currently have the flanker Happy Heart, and I wear this together with it. It just smells like a nice, fresh, clean shampoo. Not always everyone's cup of tea. I particularly like that style of fragrance. I don't mind a shampoo-y scent. And especially when it's so hot outside, it's nice to experience a fresh and clean aroma around you when everything is so oppressingly hot. Another shampoo-y citrus scent that I wanted to share with you guys is new to my collection as well. This is another body mist that I featured on my July perfume tray. This is Ellis Brooklyn's Sun. I need to stop and give some appreciation to this bottle. I love bright colored bottles. I'm not gonna lie. After the many long years we've had of minimalist bottles everything in that chic, sleek, clear packaging. Everything was different, like shades of white and black and clear. It's nice to see some color being brought back. This is their old packaging for Sun. So it is glass. I really like the glass bottles, I'm not gonna lie. I purchased this one discounted at Burlington. I think it was for like $12. And this one is another citrus floral soapy scent. I find that this is actually very similar to Seville Orange. However, this one leans more towards a floral shampoo-y style of fragrance. That bright, zesty opening, the top notes, those citrusy top notes, I think it's like orange and lemon, probably clementine. That lasts for a short while. It's not a long-lasting citrus scent. Really, after that, you get more of those florals like neroli and orange blossom. And then it's very musky in the base. So really, it really smells like a really nice soapy, orangey, lemony shampoo. It's not the longest lasting scent. This is actually my scent of the day today, which was nice while I was running some errands. This is really just a quick spritz, run some errands, come back home and hide in the shade until it's nighttime. But I appreciate that for what it is. Now, we got our realistic orange. We have our soapy oranges and soapy citruses that lean towards florals. The next one that I want to feature are more floral forward. And this is another mist. I guess body mists are just more popular styles of citrus fragrances because those citrus notes are so fleeting. I guess it's easier to formulate them in a body mist, which don't have to have incredible longevity and projection. Like they're meant to be quick and easy wears. Same thing with eau de cologne scents. So I do own quite a few body mists that do fall within that citrus scent profile. But the next one is another mist that I had in my tray. New to my collection, like I said before. This is Copari's Marabella Bloom. I picked this one up at Marshall's for $14.99. And here they list notes of bergamot, neroli, and white flowers. And truly, this is much more floral than it is like a bright, zesty, orangey, citrusy scent. However, it still maintains that sparkly quality. I actually really enjoy this little mist. It's not long lasting, but it's very, very pretty. It's nondescript white florals. Really, I pick up a lot of that neroli and bergamot. Something about neroli I always find has like a bright, sparkly quality to it. I don't know how to put it in words. It's not necessarily sweet like orange blossom, where sometimes I find that orange blossom can smell a little too candy-like, or certain fragrances style the orange blossom to be a little more sweet and candy-like. Neroli is much more green, yet still bright and sparkly. And Copari's Marabella Bloom is just that. It's so pretty. The little pink packaging it's so adorable. And this is if you prefer a more floral, dare I say, like I guess a little more sophisticated version of a citrus fragrance. Now the next one I want to feature is definitely more of your perfumey, floral forward fragrance that is kind of elevated with citrus notes. This one is a little affordable gem. This is a little perfume oil I got from Sand and Fog. It came in a little discovery set. This is Italian citrus, and this is a really, really lovely little oil. On their website, they say that this is their inspiration of Ralph Lauren's Ralph, which is one of those classic classic early 2000s perfumes. Ralph Lauren had everyone in a chokehold in the 90s and 2000s. And this is a very, like I said, sophisticated floral fragrance. It's mostly white florals. I get aquatic style white florals, I should say as well. I get a lot of like jasmine, some aquatic notes. Maybe there's like watery notes. Maybe I can pull up the notes for you real quick. On their website, they list notes of melon, apple, lemon, middle notes of cream, coconut, lotus, and gardenia, and some odd base notes of vanilla, musk, sugar, sandalwood, tonka. I'm going to disregard all of that because I swear what I'm smelling is definitely some sort of white floral. I can see gardenia or jasmine, lotus. I could see that as well because that was also a very popular note that was used in a lot of 2000s perfumes. And lemon, orange, bergamot. It smells like a really fantastic perfume. It's more like it's like an all well-rounded perfume. It's not something that you could definitely pick out certain notes, and it's not like I guess what they call like a soliflor, or I'm gonna say soli note, like Seville orange, where you definitely get boom orange in your face. But this is so pretty. I've actually worn this a few times because I'm a bad girl and I don't stick to my trays all the time. But I've worn this a few times. And this is just, like I said, very pretty, sophisticated, perfumey scent. It's like walking into the department store and you get hit with all of the nondescript white florals and nondescript citrus scents. And it's the mall in the 2000s. I like it a lot. It hits me with a sense of nostalgia. This next one I featured in a recent haul, and this is from Clean Reserve. This is their H2O collection, and this is Golden Citrus. This is lovely. This is lovely. This has that same bright, sparkly, neroli bergamot combination that I get in Marabella Bloom, but just, instead of it being in a body mist, you concentrate it into a perfume. This is really nice. And this one I love to just I tossed in my bag, and this was actually my touch-up of the day. So while I wore Ellis Brooklyn Sun in the morning, I tossed this one in my bag and then, just did a quick swipe. And while it's not the longest lasting scent, oh, it's so nice. If you do like that neroli bergamot combination that you might see in Marabella Bloom or any neroli forward fragrance, you would really enjoy Golden Citrus. I got this in a little sample set. I picked it up discounted, and I wish that they had made this part of their reserve line, like their staple line, because this is really nice. I'm such a sucker for that combination, that neroli bergamot combination, because while it still maintains that fresh, crisp profile with citruses, it's still floral and clean. Fantastic for summer season. I told you I could go on and on about citrus fragrances. It's one of my favorite scent profiles, one of my favorite scent notes that are used. I feel like citrus fragrances don't get enough proper representation. Transitioning from our realistic, soapy, floral citruses, we're going to go towards our woody style citrus scents. And I should give, a shout out to our OG classic woody citrus, aquatic citrus, perfume, Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue. Like, that paved the way for a lot of citrus, woody, almost like molecular perfumes. I don't have it in my collection anymore. Last year I thought I was gonna retire that scent, but I find myself really missing Light Blue, and I'm kind of tempted to repurchase it. It's very affordable when it comes to like perfume costs. You can find that easily discounted online stores. They're always running sales for the classic Dolce & Gabbana light blue. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel. But this next one that I wanted to share with you guys, while it is discontinued, it's still a dear love of mine. This is Ellis Brooklyn's West. I'm so heartbroken that this is discontinued, and I truly cannot find this one anywhere in stores. I even tried to look secondhand on Mercari. I'm tempted to like bite the bullet and see. But this is lovely. This is orange in the opening with some soft, powdery, woody notes in the dry down. Every time I smell this scent, I think this smells like a sexy orange. Like if Seville orange is your bright, realistic orange, imagine you take that same quality, but you tone it down a little bit. Maybe you sprinkle in a little floral notes to give it some, to give it some base, and you ground it with a beautiful powdery sandalwood. Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. I now have to use this sparingly because of how discontinued it is. I appreciate this packaging. It's so sleek. Not me saying how much I love the bright orange packaging, but you know what? It's balanced. I love both. And Ellis Brooklyn does make fantastic, fantastic bottles. So I don't want to, harp too much about this one because it is discontinued, but I love Ellis Brooklyn West. And I actually purchased this one because I was looking for something to replace another discontinued citrus forward fragrance. I was looking for something that smelled similar to Atelier Cologne's Clementine, California. I get so sad thinking about it. Another beautiful, beautiful, bright citrus clementine, juicy clementines, like juicy clementine scent. If anybody is in Europe who is still able to experience Clementine, California, please wear that for me. If you spray it, just think of Pretty in Perfume and just think this one's for you, girl. I'm gonna wear this one down for you if you can find it. But yeah, Ellis Brooklyn West, another beautiful, beautiful orangey, citrus, woody scent. Okay, had to make some room for this next one, which is new to my collection, but it's probably one of my most interesting orange perfumes that I've smelled so far. I'm going to have to show you this one decapitated so it doesn't blind you guys and reflect too much. But this one is Moschino's Toy 2 Pearl. And I'm sorry, I can't do that to this Teddy. Hold on. I have to show it in all of its crazy bottle and crazy packaging. This is so stinking cute. But Moschino's Toy 2 Pearl. And despite its wacky, crazy, kooky bottle, this actually smells quite sophisticated. It is a very punchy, sharp, crisp, lemony scent based with a lot of wood. Really, smelling this, I was not, it doesn't smell like what this packaging is portraying. I was probably expecting this to smell very fruity, candy-like, but really the fruity opening is very, it's very tart, like almost like as if you were, eating a lemon rind itself or candied lemon peels. Or even like I want to say like a lemon Italian ice, which sounds fantastic for the summer season. Based with not as clean of a woody scent as Ellis Brooklyn's West, but it's more of like a molecular woody scent. It's actually really nice. Yeah, that lemon just like punches you in the opening. It's actually really cool. It's really fun. A little goes a long way because of how punchy that opening is. I have this on my July tray, and because that opening is so like so sharp and almost sweet. I think this is one of those scents that wear great in the daytime and it'll last you into the evening. So I'm going to place my little decapitated teddy here in the back. Sorry, guys. But that's Moschino's Toy 2 Pearl. Now, branching off from those punchy, orangey, woody scents, I have some more bright, vibrant, like sharp, tangy orange scents. Now, although this one's not my favorite that I've tried so far, I still want to mention it. I still want to share it with you guys and, just share my experience with it. This one is Banana Republic's Fresh Pear and Coconut. Now, pay no mind to what they call this because I do not get pear, I do not get coconut. If there is any pear in this perfume, it is very, very minimal. What I get is, in the opening, is a sharp, tart lemon, like a lemon lime note with pear. I'm just going to say pear because they list pear on the packaging. I don't get any coconut in this. It's not necessarily like a coconut water. It's not aquatic, but it is very powdery. So that combination of it being so sharp in the opening and powdery in the dry down, it really makes a cool transition. It's very, very musky as well. Nice for the summer season. Not the longest wearing perfume. It's a little nice cheapy. Love the packaging. You know me. I love bright, obnoxious colored packaging. I think it's a fun little twist on the icon line. And I think for, an affordable fragrance, it's all right for those lemon lime. Like, honestly, for those fans who like lemon lime sour candy types of sweets, Fresh Pear and Coconut kind of reminds me of it. I wrote down in my notes once that this perfume reminds me of eating a lemon lime pear sorbet in an ice cream shop that was wiped down with like Clorox cleaners. Like those Clorox cleaner wipes. That's kind of what it smells like to me. Not bad. Not my favorite when it comes to bright citrus fruity scents, but I still want to share it. Going back to the classics and just referencing what I had mentioned before is Clinique's Happy Heart. And like I said, this is one of those bright, crisp, sharp citruses, borderline into that soapy territory, but it's much more sharper. And it even goes towards like that floral category. I found out that this perfume actually features notes of water hyacinth and carrot, which is very interesting because I don't pick up either, or at least if it is a water hyacinth and carrot note, that I'm perceiving it to be like rose. I always assumed that this was orange, rose, and like some sort of aquatic note. Either way, I love this perfume. Clearly, I love this perfume because I have one drop left, but just because she's almost finished doesn't mean that she doesn't get a mention. Also featuring from that Clean H2O collection, this one is Nectarine Petal. Now, for Nectarine Petal, I was assuming that this was going to be like a very fresh, watery fragrance. This is actually quite punchy. This is sharp. This is like a nectarine that's just slightly underripe, and it's been like sitting in like crisp cold water with maybe some floral petals around it. This is actually really nice. This little H2O collection, I wish that it had gotten more popularity because clearly I was missing out on some good stuff. This is really nice, especially for those like sharp, punchy florals. It almost tickles the nose. This is nice for those high heat, those hot days where you want something to cut through the heat. And with it being in a little travel size, I love, like I said, chucking these little things in my purse for a quick touch up. And last but not least, my final category, which are sweet citruses. Now, we all know that gourmand style perfumes are of all the rage. It has taken everyone by storm, even citrus fragrances. Everyone is talking about your lemon gourmands, your citrus gourmands. Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion was hot. Acro's Bake was hot. You have had so many sweet, lemony, dessert-like perfumes, and I'm not gonna lie, I think they're really nice as well. I don't have many. I actually don't have. I think I'm only gonna have like 2 to share with you guys. I'm still, dabbling around with that lemony gourmand, that citrus gourmand category. So the first one that I want to share, although it is sweet, I personally would not categorize it as a gourmand. I think it was unjustly categorized as a gourmand in the beginning. But this fragrance is one of my all-time year-round favorites. This is Mont Blanc's Signature. Now, when this first came out, everyone was talking about it, hyping it up, saying that this smelled like a creamsicle. And they did this perfume dirty, because once everyone got it into their heads that this was a creamsicle, and then you smell it, and they were disappointed, because this is not a gourmand fragrance. This is actually quite clean. And it leans more, it's sweet. Don't get me wrong. It is a very sweet, vanillic, lotion-like citrus scent. And again, heavy on the sweetness. Out of all of these perfumes here, this is some of the sweeter citrus fragrances that I have. But it's so lovely. Like, once you go past, like, you ignore all of that creamsicle talk, and you really just appreciate it for what it is, which is a very sweet, powdery, musky citrus scent. It smells like a really nice lotion or a nice like body wash. It's something that is easily worn year round. Really, I think this is something that can be worn spring, summer, winter, fall. Now, I myself probably won't reach this when it's 105 degrees out. I can't do that to myself. But 80 degrees, 70 degrees, evening, work, running errands, hanging out with your girlfriends, brunch, whatever it is, Mont Blanc's Signature is a fantastic citrus scent. This has notes of nectarine or clementine in the opening. It's got like some sweet florals like peony, ylang ylang, and it's that ylang ylang that gives it like that almost creamy quality. And there's a lot of vanilla in this, which is what gives it that sweetness. It's not an edible vanilla, but it's certainly a very sweet fragrance, and a lot of musk. I love Mont Blanc's Signature. Like 10 toes down, I love this little perfume. One of the best purchases I've made. I probably paid a little too much for it, but no regrets. And last but not least is by far the sweetest citrus fragrance that I have in my collection. New to my collection, but definitely this perfume falls into the category of your proper citrus gourmand. This is Lemon Sugar from Sand and Fog. And this is their little perfume oil. It's in the rollerball form. I got this at Marshall's for $16.99 because at this point, y'all should know that I love a hunt, and I love hunting for these little oils. This is supposed to be their inspiration of Kayali's Capri in a bottle, which I have smelled, by the way. And one of my friends, this is one of their favorite perfumes, and it's very nice. I'll give it to them. I'll give it to Kayali. I think they make really nice scents. But the fact that I could find something a little similar for a little cheaper, I'm fine with it. It shares that same scent profile. And what I find very interesting is how nobody's ever mentioned that Capri in a bottle and Yum Bougie marshmallow smell very, very similar to each other. But that's a conversation for another time. Lemon sugar is exactly that. Lemon sugar. This smells like those little lemon gumdrop candies or those little lemon fruit candies sprinkled with a whole lot of sugar. A lot of sugar. So much sugar that it will make your dentist cry. And then after, all of that sugar, the crystallized sugar was sprinkled on it, you sprinkle more powdered sugar on top of it. It's very, very sweet, fruity, and powdery. I actually find this scent very cute. This is not something that I would wear in the summer season, perhaps maybe cool summer evenings, but I really like it. I think this is for a lemon gourmand, a citrus gourmand. I can see why this style of fragrance has such a wide appeal to people. Unfortunately, I find that, again, like a lot of citrus fragrance, the citrus top notes wear off very quickly. If I remember correctly, on their website, the Sand and Fog website, they list notes of like lemon, freesia. I'm assuming vanilla, sugar. There's probably like that marshmallow accord that's everyone's going crazy for. And it's exactly that. Really, it smells like those lemon gumdrop candies. I find that so interesting how they can replicate scents like that. It smells like the gumdrop candies. It smells like how the gumdrop candies taste. Very, very cute. So, I have spent nearly 40 minutes waxing poetic about my love for citruses and orange fragrances. I feel like I just wanted to give a moment to really appreciate them and share with you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Talk to me in the comments below. What are some of your favorite citrus fragrance? And if you don't like that particular scent profile, let me know too. I know, like I said, it's not for everybody. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to. I will always appreciate it. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.